Shabbat Shalom, Yasharala, week 35. This is the last portion for the book of Numbers, covering chapters 33 and 36. Let's begin with a prayer. Heavenly Abba, high in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Tudah, for allowing us to be here on your Shabbat. Thank you for giving us the day of rest. Thank you for giving us the commandment to not do anything on this day, because I know we would try if you didn't tell us not to. It has been a Baruch to not just me, but I know to everyone that have truly embraced your commandments, Abba. We ask you to continue to open our eyes to anything that has been a stumbling block in our walk, Abba. Keep us on the straight and narrow. Take away our burdens. Give us strength in times of need. Abba, give us the words to say at the appointed times when we're speaking to your children around the world, to make sure we are doing our discipleship. And in all that we do, we praise you in Yasha's name. Amen. All right, let's share screen and get started. We are, like I said, in week 35, last portion of the book of Numbers, and don't really have any display pictures in this Torah portion. This will be relatively quick. There isn't much to add. This is an overview of the time that they traveled throughout the wilderness. Hence, the background of this week's Torah portion is what I believe where the wilderness was at. And, regardless of where you believe, Africa, Middle East, this is what this Torah portion is about, is their travels through the wilderness and just them recapping and going over a couple of last points. And let's begin, starting off in Numbers 33.
Numbers 33. These are the journeys of the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt with their armies under the hand of Moses and Aaron. And Moses wrote their goings out according to their journeys by the commandment of the Lord. And these are their journeys according to their goings out. And they departed from Ramses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month. On the morrow after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with an high hand in the sight of all the Egyptians.
All right, I'm just gonna stop when I got something to say here in these chapters. So we have verse 3 that says that they departed from Ramses in the first month on the 15th day of the first month, on the morrow after the Passover. And I just wanted to make that clear. A lot of people believe they left that night, and they did not leave in darkness. They left in light. They left on the day of unleavened bread. And clearly written right here in verse 3 that they left on the 15th day and not during the night of Passover. And I wanted to read on this in the book of Jasher, which gives us more of a couple of verses that gives a clear viewing of how it went down. I'm reading Jasher 80, verse 58 through 60. And Pharaoh ordered the children of Israel to be sent away, and all the Egyptians strengthened themselves to send them, for they said, "We are all perishing." And all the Egyptians sent the Israelites forth with great riches, sheep and oxen and precious things, according to the oath of the Adon between him and our father Abraham. And the children of Israel delayed going forth at night. Every time I try to highlight that happens. At night. When the Egyptians came to them to bring them out, they said to them, "Are we thieves that we should go forth at night?" I mean, so man, with obviously Numbers 33 verse 3 and Jasher 80 verse 60, very crystal clear that they didn't leave at night. They left the morning after, which was the day of unleavened bread, the first day of unleavened bread. All right. Let's continue. Just wanted to make sure we have understanding there.
For the Egyptians buried all their firstborn, which the Lord had smitten among them. Upon their gods also the Lord executed judgments. And the children of Israel removed from Ramses and pitched in Succoth. And they departed from Succoth and pitched in Etham, which is in the edge of the wilderness. And they removed from Etham and turned again unto Pi-Hahiroth, which is before Baal-Zebon. And they pitched before Migdol. And they departed from before Pi-Hahiroth and passed through the midst of the sea into the wilderness, and went 3 days' journey in the wilderness of Etham, and pitched in Marah. And they removed from Marah, and came unto Elim, and in Elim were 12 fountains of water, and 70 palm trees, and they pitched there. And they removed from Elim, and encamped by the Red Sea. And they removed from the Red Sea, and encamped in the wilderness of Sin. And they took their journey out of the wilderness of Sin, and encamped in Dophkah. And they departed from Dophkah, and encamped in Alush.
All right, so as we're going, next verse, stopping at verse 14.
And they removed from Alush, and encamped at Rephidim, where was no water for the people to drink.
All right, so we're going to go, and the Targums is going to give a little bit more understanding as we go forth. Oh yeah, I did have a note that I wanted to just speak about on verse 3, when it says that they went out on the 15th day. It says, with uncovered head in sight of all Mizraim. And we have read multiple times about the covering, how man is the cover of woman, and Messiah is the cover of man, and the Most High is the cover of Messiah. And right here it says the children of Israel went out with no cover. And in the structure of family and husband and wife, this makes sense because they have not taken the covenant of the wedding vows at Mount Sinai yet. Thought that was just an interesting note there. Now at verse 14 in the Targums. What is, hold on, make sure. What is Sinai? One second. I think I'm just not noticing these verses may be off here. 12:12. Let's see. They are. Well, that's great. All right, so 14, where there were no water for the people to drink. It's verse 12 here. Because their hands were neglectful of the words of the law, there was no water for the people to drink. So why was there no water? Because they were neglectful of the words of the Torah. All right, let's continue now.
And they departed from Rephidim and pitched in the wilderness of Sinai. And they removed from the desert of Sinai and pitched at Kibroth Hattaavah. And they departed from Kibroth Hattaavah and encamped at Hazeroth.
All right, let's see if we can get this right. And see, Targum's got little notes that happened during the time in the wilderness. And then we see here, this is where Miriam, the prophetess, was struck with leprosy. And that is verse 17 in the canon and verse 15 in the Targums. Let me make a note of that. I don't know how to make a note of this. All right, let's continue.
And they departed from Hazeroth and pitched in Rithmah. And they departed from Rithmah and pitched at Rimmon Perez. And they departed from Rimmon Perez and pitched in Libnah. And they removed from Libnah and pitched at Rissah. And they journeyed from Rissah and pitched in Kehelatha.
All right, let's look here. And Kehelatha, where Korah, his companions banded together against Moshe and Aaron.
And they went from Kehelatha and pitched in Mount Shepher. And they removed from Mount Shepher and encamped in Haradah.
And Haradah was where they were confounded by the evil plague. There was quite a few evil plagues. Let's continue.
And they removed from Haradah and pitched in Makheloth. And they removed from Makheloth and encamped at Tahath. And they departed from Tahath and pitched at Tara. And they removed from Tara and pitched in Mithka. And they went from Mithka and pitched in Hashmonah. And they departed from Hashmonah and encamped at Moseroth. And they departed from Moseroth and pitched in Bnei Jakan. And they removed from Bnei Jakan and encamped at Hor Hagidgad. And they went from Hor Hagidgad and pitched in Jotbathah. And they removed from Jotbathah and encamped at Ebronah. And they departed from Ebronah and encamped at Ezion-Geber. And they removed from Ezion-Geber and pitched in the wilderness of Zin, which is Kadesh. And they removed from Kadesh and pitched in Mount Or, in the edge of the land of Edom. And Aaron the priest went up into Mount Or at the commandment of the Lord, and died there, in the 40th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the first day of the 5th month. And Aaron was 123 years old when he died in Mount Or. And King Arad, the Canaanite, which dwelt in the south in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the children of Israel. And they departed from Mount Or and pitched in Zalmonah. And they departed from Zalmonah and pitched in Punon. And they departed from Punon and pitched in Oboth.
Right. This to Panan, where the Adon sent burning serpents among them, and their cry went up to heaven. That's that serpent of brass chapter, Numbers 21 right here.
And they departed from Oboth and pitched in Ijeh Abarim in the border of Moab. And they departed from Aim and pitched in Dibon Gad. And they removed from Dibon Gad and encamped in Almon Diblathaim. And they removed from Almon Diblathaim and pitched in the mountains of Abarim before Nebo. And they departed from the mountains of Abarim and pitched in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho. And they pitched by Jordan from Beth Jeshimoth even unto Abel Shittim in the plains of Moab. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you are passed over Jordan into the land of Canaan, then ye shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and destroy all their pictures, and destroy all their molten images, and quite pluck down all their high places. And ye shall dispossess the inhabitants of the land, and dwell therein, for I have given you the land to possess it. And ye shall divide the land by lot for an inheritance among your families, and to the more ye shall give the more inheritance, and to the fewer ye shall give the less inheritance. Every man's inheritance shall be in the place where his lot falleth. According to the tribes of your fathers ye shall inherit. But if ye will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass that those which ye let remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes, and thorns in your sides, and shall vex you in the land wherein ye dwell. Moreover, it shall come to pass that I shall do unto you as I thought to do unto them.
And we know that's exactly what happens. Well, maybe you don't know, but the Israelites, obviously, they go into the promised land, which you get the bulk of this in the book of Joshua. And they go to war and they clear out the land, but they do not finish clearing out all the land. And of course, they start doing what the other nations do, and then they go into captivity and become a cursed people, as stated in verse 56. It shall come to pass that I shall do unto you as I thought to do unto them. That is chapter 33. All right, chapter 34. Very straightforward chapter. Just going to let it read.
Numbers 34. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall unto you for an inheritance, even the land of Canaan, with the coasts thereof. Then your south quarter shall be from the wilderness of Zin, along by the coast of Edom, and your south border shall be the outmost coast of the salt sea eastward. And your border shall turn from the south to the ascent of Akrabim, and pass on to Zin, and the going forth thereof shall be from the south to Kadesh Barnea, and shall go on to Hazar Adar, and pass on to Asman. And the border shall fetch a compass from Asman unto the river of Egypt, and the goings out of it shall be at the sea. And as for the western border, ye shall even have the great sea for a border. This shall be your west border, and this shall be your north border. From the great sea ye shall point out for you Mount Or. From Mount Or ye shall point out your border unto the entrance of Hamath, and the goings forth of the border shall be to Zedad, and the border shall go on to Ziphron, and the goings out of it shall be at Hazar Enan. This shall be your north border. And ye shall point out your east border from Hazar Enan to Shepham, and the coast shall go down from Shepham to Riblah on the east side of Ain, and the border shall descend, and shall reach unto the side of the sea of Chinnereth eastward. And the border shall go down to Jordan, and the goings out of it shall be at the salt sea. This shall be your land with the coasts thereof round about. And Moses commanded the children of Israel, saying,
And just for kicks, I have not been over here in the so-called Holy Land in America, but we have the West, as we just read, the West. Let's see, the western border is the Great Sea for a border. A Great Sea. What's a Great Sea? A Great Sea sounds like an ocean, right? On the western border here, then somewhere eastern, northern, southern. All right, let's continue.
This is the land which ye shall inherit by lot, which the Lord commanded to give unto the 9 tribes, and to the half tribe. For the tribe of the children of Reuben according to the house of their fathers, and the tribe of the children of Gad according to the house of their fathers have received their inheritance, and half the tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. The 2 tribes and the half-tribe have received their inheritance on this side Jordan near Jericho, eastward toward the sunrising. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, These are the names of the men which shall divide the land unto you, Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun. And ye shall take one prince of every tribe to divide the land by inheritance. And the names of the men are these: of the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh; and of the tribe of the children of Simeon, Shemuel the son of Ammihud; of the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad the son of Chislon; and the prince of the tribe of the children of Dan, Bukai the son of Joglai; the prince of the children of Joseph, for the tribe of the children of Manasseh, Haniel the son of Ephod; and the prince of the tribe of the children of Ephraim, Kemuel the son of Shiptan; and the prince of the tribe of the children of Zebulun, Elizaphan the son of Parnach; and the prince of the tribe of the children of Issachar, Paltiel the son of Azan; and the prince of the tribe of the children of Asher, Ahihud the son of Shelemai; and the prince of the tribe of the children of Naphtali, Pedahel the son of Ammihud. These are they whom the Lord commanded to divide the inheritance unto the children of Israel in the land of Canaan.
All right. Obviously, we don't have a real authentic map to kind of, go over all the notes. So we just take it for what it is. And this chapter is just giving the borders of the promised land. All right, chapter 35. Let's begin.
Numbers 35. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, Command the children of Israel, that they give unto the Levites of the inheritance of their possession cities to dwell in. And ye shall give also unto the Levites suburbs for the cities round about them. And the cities shall they have to dwell in, and the suburbs of them shall be for their cattle, and for their goods, and for all their beasts. And the suburbs of the cities, which ye shall give unto the Levites, shall reach from the wall of the city and outward 1,000 cubits round about. And ye shall measure from without the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, on the south side 2,000 cubits, on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. And the city shall be in the midst. This shall be to them the suburbs of the cities. And among the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites, there shall be 6 cities for refuge, which ye shall appoint for the manslayer, that he may flee thither. And to them ye shall add 42 cities. So all the cities which ye shall give to the Levites shall be 48 cities. Them shall ye give with their suburbs.
All right. Connection verse here in Deuteronomy. Once again, use this verse a few times, but it's just putting it where it needs to be put in the context of what we're reading. So we see that Levites don't inherit the actual land, but they are given cities on the land. The priests, the Levites, and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offering of Hayah made with fire and his inheritance. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. Hayah is their inheritance, as he has said unto them. So this is what we're seeing. They don't have actual land in a sense that is portioned out, but they are given cities throughout all the tribes' land, because every tribe in every location needs Levites. They need priests. And so that's the structure. You have cities put in each spectrum of the promised land throughout the tribes for priestly duties. And we're about to read that with also within the cities of the priests, you have the land where the accidental manslaughter people go to for protection, which we're about to get in more detail in this chapter. . That's good.
And the cities which ye shall give shall be of the possession of the children of Israel. From them that have many ye shall give many, but from them that have few ye shall give few. Every one shall give of his cities unto the Levites according to his inheritance, which he inheriteth.
Also, just wanted to make a comparison that this is the same structure with sacrifices or with gift offerings, free will offerings. When you go and you're given a free will offering, you're given the from the abundance of what you have been given from the Most High. And this is exactly the same description here. Those that have been given many will provide many cities to the Levites, and those that have been given few will provide few cities in possession to the Levites. But the just how they take gift offerings and also your real sacrificial sin offerings, and then a portion of that goes to the Levites. Same thing with the land. A portion of everything they're getting is given to the Levites, just like sacrifices.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come over Jordan into the land of Canaan, then ye shall appoint you cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the slayer may flee thither, which killeth any person at unawares. And they shall be unto you cities for refuge from the avenger, that the manslayer die not, until he stand before the congregation in judgment. And of these cities which ye shall give 6 cities, shall ye have for refuge. Ye shall give 3 cities on this side Jordan, and 3 cities shall ye give in the land of Canaan, which shall be cities of refuge. These 6 cities shall be a refuge, both for the children of Israel, and for the stranger, and for the sojourner among them, that every one that killeth any person unawares may flee thither. And if he smite him with an instrument of iron, so that he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. And if he smite him with throwing a stone, wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. Or if he smite him with an hand weapon of wood, wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. The revenger of blood himself shall slay the murderer. When he meeteth him, he shall slay him. But if he thrust him of hatred, or hurl at him by laying of weight, that he die, or in enmity smite him with his hand, that he die, he that smote him shall surely be put to death. For he is a murderer. The revenger of blood shall slay the murderer, when he meeteth him. But if he thrust him suddenly without enmity, or have cast upon him anything without laying of weight, or with any stone wherewith the man may die, seeing him not, and cast it upon him that he die, and was not his enemy, neither sought his harm, then the congregation shall judge between the slayer and the revenger of blood according to these judgments. And the congregation shall deliver the slayer out of the hand of the revenger of blood. And the congregation shall restore him to the city of his refuge, whither he was fled, and he shall abide in it unto the death of the high priest, which was anointed with the holy oil. But if the slayer shall at any time come without the border of the city of his refuge, whither he was fled, and the revenger of blood find him without the borders of the city of his refuge, and the revenger of blood kill the slayer, he shall not be guilty of blood, because he should have remained in the city of his refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the slayer shall return into the land of his possession.
All right, just making sure we're understanding what we're reading here, because we know that that can happen very often in the Bible, where you can read a chapter and be like, I don't know what I just read. We have the cities of refuge that are amongst the Levites, where if someone accidentally kills another person and is deemed innocent, they go into these cities of refuge that are amongst the Levites. And you have to stay there until after the death of the high priest. That's just the law and the structure. You have to stay there. If you don't stay there until the death of the high priest in the city of refuge, meaning you have to leave your home, family behind, and you have to stay in that city of refuge. If you leave before the death of the high priest, you can be killed by the avenger, the person that is, I guess, closely related to the person that you had put to death. Even though it was accidental, that person would not be deemed guilty. I guess it's an idea that time heals wounds. And the Most High is like, I'm not going to have you killed because you did it on accident, but you're going to have to give them time and space. Just seems like the structure of it in the context of what we're reading here. Right. There it's like they're under the cover of the priest and the mercy of Hayah being amongst the priest. And then when the priest dies, like a husband, right? The covenant is broken when the husband dies. It sounds like the same thing, right? You going under the cover in the mercy of the high priest. When the high priest dies, then you are freed from this vow covenant that you go and you stay in the city of refuge, and you shall be able to go back into the city. And now, if that man kills you, then they will be judged for being a murderer. Hope all of this makes sense. I know some of this can sound very different because it is. This is just one of the laws that if we were in ancient Israel, this would be the structure. This is how you would deal with accidental deaths or killings. All right. Yes, also in this chapter, we see that this was established when they entered into the promised land in Joshua 20, verse 2. Speak to the children of Yasharallah, saying, appoint out for you cities of refuge, whereof I spake unto you by the hand of Moses. So, obviously, Joshua was righteous enough to keep the commandments and to appoint these cities as commanded. All right, finish the chapter 29 through 34.
So these things shall be for a statute of judgment unto you throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Whoso killeth any person, the murderer, shall be put to death by the mouth of witnesses. But one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die.
Right. See this here. This is the entire point of having 2 to 3 witnesses. And we see that 2 to 3 witnesses can be used in the court of law for prosecution, as we're reading right here. That whoever killeth any person, the murderer shall be put to death by the mouth of witnesses, plural. But one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can have one witness that will come, that could come and accuse someone of doing a crime, but the penalty of death, especially a penalty of death, need 2 witnesses. And we know that this goes farther than just in the court of law per se, that this goes with scripture. This goes with scriptural doctrine. Scriptural doctrine needs 2 to 3 witnesses, because we know that there's many things that can be mentioned in the scripture one time. But we're talking about scriptural doctrine, things that are made into law or judgment, needs at least 2 witnesses. And this is elaborated on in Deuteronomy 17:6. At the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. But at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death. So you can still be called out by 1 witness, but it isn't with the authority to be at least put to death on a judgment.
Moreover, ye shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death, but he shall be surely put to death. And ye shall take no satisfaction for him that is fled to the city of his refuge, that he should come again to dwell in the land, until the death of the priest. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell. For I, the Lord, dwell among the children of Israel.
All right. Like I said, very different perspective of regulations, laws for ancient Israel, of how they deal with very specific situations. The Torah, man, the Torah can have some very, very specific laws and commandments. And this is one of them. All right. Like I said, this is a very, very short, one of the shorter Torah portions. These chapters are just flying by because this is it. We're already in the last chapter of this Torah portion. And this chapter is only 13 verses. All right. So we have the inheritance of daughters. And this is specifically talking about the daughters that have an inheritance, which we sort of talked about this. What was it? Numbers 26 to 27. But now it's coming to full understanding on all the regulations of the inheritance of daughters in chapters 36.
Numbers 36. And the chief fathers of the families of the children of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of the sons of Joseph, came near and spake before Moses, and before the princes, the chief fathers of the children of Israel. And they said, The Lord commanded my Lord to give the land for an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel. And my Lord was commanded by the Lord to give the inheritance of Zelophehad, our brother, unto his daughters. And if they be married...
I'm gonna go ahead and stop and let's give a review for, I'm just gonna call them Zil here, the daughters of Zil. Just want to give a review from the earlier chapters. So, and Zil, the son of Hephher, had no sons but daughters. And the daughters of Zil were all these women. All right. And then in verse 27, so just establishing why the daughters have an inheritance, because he had an inheritance and it had to go to somebody. So it went to his daughters. Now in chapters 27, then came the daughters of Zil, son of Manasseh. And let me see what I wanted to read out of this, just reviewing. Yes, and so they stood before Moses. So this is the first time. This time it is the daughters of Zil that is coming to talk to Moses. We see in chapters 36, this is actually the other sons of Israel because they have a question on how to portion out the land if you marry one of these daughters. And we see, but just in review, we see in chapter 27 that the women approached Moses and Eleazar the priest in the congregation, and they say, Our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against Haya in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin and had no sons. Why should the name of our fathers be done away from among his family, because he has no son? Give unto us therefore a possession among the brethren of our father. And Moses brought their case before the Most High. And Haya spoke unto Moses, saying, The daughters of Zil speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brethren, and thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass unto them, And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a man die and have no son, then ye shall cause his inheritance to pass onto his daughter. All right. Very important to review all of this, because this caused a little problem now that we're talking about the inheritance of the land, because we know that women can't continue to hold the inheritance of their fathers if they go and get married by a man. The man is now the cover, and the man inherits what the wife has that she has already inherited, right? So that is what we're at in chapter 36. The command of Moses given the daughters an inheritance has now played out right here. And so let's listen up in verse 3, the problem that it is sort of a problem. It's just something that's got to be talked through and handled as before it gets messy and to figure out who's who in possessions.
To any of the sons of the other tribes.
Okay, it kind of start off, and if they be married to any of the sons of the other tribes, because inheritance is based on your father's tribe. The land is broken up by tribes. All right.
Of the children of Israel, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance. And when the jubilee of the children of Israel shall be, then shall their inheritance be put unto the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers.
So in a nutshell, if a woman has an inheritance and she's in the tribe of Judah and she marries into the tribe of Issachar, then Issachar is going to take the possession that this woman had because that she inherited from her father. And if that was land, then slowly but surely the land and the structure of the possession of land would change based on who's marrying who, if the women has their inheritance of land and property. So this is the issue that has been brought forth. Now in verse 5.
And Moses commanded the children of Israel according to the word of the Lord, saying, The tribe of the sons of Joseph hath said well. This is the thing which the Lord doth command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, Let them marry to whom they think best, only to the family of the tribe of their father shall they marry. So shall not the inheritance of the children of Israel remove from tribe to tribe, for every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. And every daughter that possesseth an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel shall be wife unto one of the family of the tribe of her father, that the children of Israel may enjoy every man the inheritance of his fathers. Neither shall the inheritance remove from one tribe to another tribe, but every one of the tribes of the children of Israel shall keep himself to his own inheritance.
All right, so just to make it clear, just want to make sure we're comprehending here. This is the whole point, right, of reading line by line. If this is not for all women, this is not for all Israelites. It's very possible for one tribe to marry another tribe. The only people that can't marry other tribes is the Levitical high priest. The high priest has to marry a Levite woman, and women that has an inheritance. Right now, we have the daughters of this name is particular, but then it says in every daughter in verse 8 that has the same situations of them that possesses an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel shall be wife unto one of the family of the tribe of her father. So this does not go for all relations. This is not saying everybody's married to their own tribe at all. The high priest and women that has an inheritance are those that have to marry within their own tribes. Can't say it any more clear than that. That is how they're going to fix the problem to make sure women that has an inheritance isn't going to give land to another tribe. All right, verse 10.
Even as the Lord commanded Moses, so did the daughters of Zelophehad. For Mahlah, Tirzah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad, were married unto their father's brothers' sons. And they were married into the families of the sons of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of the family of their father. These are the commandments and the judgments which the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses unto the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by Jordan, near Jericho.
And just like that, that for sure, that was under an hour. This is the shortest Torah portion yet, and that's okay. Sometimes it just falls that way. These chapters just flew by, very straightforward. But this is the end of the book of Numbers. Next, well, talk about it next week. But thank y'all for joining me. But Deuteronomy. Oh, I cannot wait for the book of Deuteronomy. I say this about every book, but hey, I enjoy reading them. What can I say? But Shabbat Shalom. Thank y'all for joining me. And I'll see y'all next week.